So I was just notified that I'm not allowed to eat the chickens or their eggs anymore. As you know, Carolyn and I are carnivores. We eat just meat, about 80%. I would say it's even 90%. Now that the garden season is over, the reason I went with 80% was we were eating a lot of tomatoes when we were growing the garden this last year. I mean, that's all we planted was tomatoes. Now the winter's hit, pretty much just eating eggs and meat. And people keep asking me, what does carnivorous diet consist of? Eggs and meat. We got cheese. Cheese is, but anything meat product is a carnivorous diet. On Fridays, we still go to Dollar General and pick up our snacks. Getting away from ice cream. Ice cream just isn't a big deal anymore to me. I mean, Carolyn still likes it probably more. We had this conversation. She likes it more than me, I guess, but pistachios is what we've been eating. Since we've started eating meat, I've said this a gazillion times, I've never been healthier. I've told you that I thought I was getting arthritis in my shoulder, and that has completely went away. I wasn't even able to sleep on my shoulder anymore. I had to sleep on one side only. I don't sleep well on my back because it makes me snore, and I don't sleep on my stomach, so it was just very uncomfortable having to sleep on one side. But I started eating meat and that pain went away. As you know, I split wood with a maul. And I thought I was going to have to do Carolyn's method, which is the manual log splitter, because I couldn't swing the maul anymore. But I can swing it now, no problem. Chainsaw was bothering my arm, not anymore, my shoulder. So that's all been healed. Now, after doing extensive research as to why that has healed, it's because I don't have inflammation. Carbohydrates cause inflammation, and vegetables cause inflammation. They just did a study, and the last time I said this, people argued with me. No, that's not true. Well, okay, then the study, I guess, isn't true. I appreciate the scientific evidence that you provided me, but the study that I read that showed scientific evidence said that all plants produce some sort of toxin to protect itself. You think about it, yeah, berries, there's a lot of berries that are poisonous, and lots of different plants and things are poisonous. Why wouldn't all plant-based foods produce a toxin? And they do. These toxins cause inflammation. So like when you eat green beans or carbohydrates like corn and potatoes, they produce a toxin that causes inflammation, which causes arthritis. Now, the other thing that inflammation does is like Carolyn's back injury. She's got a back injury. And I've told you that her back injury doesn't bother her anymore. Now, the back injury is still there. It's a permanent back injury. But she doesn't get the inflammation, at least that's my presumption, that lays her up for weeks at a time. Now, people will tell me, you have to have carbohydrates. And there's two types of carbohydrates. There's the good carbohydrates and the bad carbohydrates. No, in my opinion, they're all bad. Here's what bothers me when people tell me I have to have carbohydrates. When I was eating carbohydrates, I was sick. Now that I'm not eating carbohydrates, I am healthy. I tell you what, I will continue to eat unhealthy, as those who tell me I am, and feel better, feel healthy, versus eating healthy like you want me to, and feeling sick. I mean, the mindset of this is, I'm going to listen to a guy on YouTube tell me that he's never been healthier in his life, here's how he did it, and then tell him, no, he's not healthy. Now, there's always this saying about, you got to have fiber. Well, no, actually my digestive system has never been healthier either. I used to have to take Metamucil. I don't want to get all detailed and disgusting, but I had to take Metamucil. I had to. And I've taken it since I was like 30 years old. And it took me a good long while to figure out that I needed to take it. But I was quite unhealthy without it. And I couldn't imagine what it was that was causing it. I thought, well, maybe it's MSG and bread. And I mean, I just tried everything. I'd stop eating something. Nothing helped. Nothing helped. So I started taking Metamucil and I was better. But now that I'm eating a carnivorous diet, I don't take Metamucil. Now, I don't go as frequently, which makes sense because my body is using all the food that I eat. It uses every bit of it, or at least 90% of it. Let's just call it 90% for the lack of better math here. But when you eat plant-based diet, there's very little that your body is absorbing from that. Oh, you need the vitamins. Well, meat has all the vitamins you need. So it sucks out a few vitamins from the plant and then rejects the rest. So these people say, oh, I'm constipated when I go on a meat diet. You're not constipated, it's just you're not going as much as you're used to. I know when I went into boot camp, Dad warned me of this. He said, when you go into boot camp, you're not going to be able to go to the bathroom. Of course, he used the S word. You're not going to be able to go to the bathroom for 2 weeks. And that was true. You didn't go to the bathroom for 2 weeks. Now, his philosophy was, and I don't know if it's true or not, but his philosophy was that they're working you so hard in boot camp that you're using up everything you eat, which could be true. I guess because I was in boot camp, I kind of expected a change in my digestive system, but I don't need Metamucil anymore. Metamucil is supposed to take care of all these problems that meat is causing, yet meat doesn't cause the problem to need Metamucil. They were telling all of us that we had to get off meat, and they still tell us to get off meat, and that we had to start eating vegetables. Well, now they're telling us, and they're actually throughout the world controlling people from using fertilizers on their vegetable crops. So now farmers throughout the world, like Ireland, have to reduce the amount of crops they produce because they can't produce as much nitrogen in their fertilizers. So now we can't have meat, and now we can't have vegetables. So what are we supposed to eat? They have a solution, not to worry. So Iron Man, Robert Downey Jr., I think his name is, Iron Man has been on one of these nighttime talk shows. I don't know, I don't get TV. Corbett, whatever his name is, the Tonight Show maybe. He was on there and he was talking about eating bugs. Oh boy, we get to eat bugs. Yeah, Corbett eating bugs. I saw a little video of it. And he's talking about how great all these bugs are and you're gonna be healthy. And well, I watched this doctor on YouTube. And he made a video yesterday. He was talking about all the parasites and all the diseases and everything from bugs. But I've had viewers in the comment section tell me that they have bought products at the store and you read the ingredients in the back and it says grasshopper flour, meaning they've ground up grasshoppers to make flour out of. And now they're replacing ingredients with grasshoppers in things that you're buying at the store. That's just kind of weird to me. I'm not going to eat bugs. Now, Aldi's, I don't know if they've done it yet or not, but Aldi's was interviewing a company, a bug company, raises bugs, mealworm, I don't know what it was, to sell in Aldi's because it was supposed to be cheaper than meat products. So since Aldi's is kind of a reduced price store, they were trying to figure out how to find foods that were cheaper. Then we hear about lab-grown meat. Now when people hear lab-grown meat, in the comment section, a lot of people said, oh, that's like Beyond Meat, Beyond Burger, Beyond Beef, whatever that is. No, Beyond Beef is a vegetable-based, plant-based food. Lab-grown meat means they take a sample of the animal you want to eat, let's say it's cow, take some cells from the cow, and then they grow in cultures and dishes and meat, and then they form it into the shapes that you want. Now there's two companies, I forget the second company, but one of the companies is Tyson Food that has invested in this company, and the company I think is in Israel. This company in Israel has already gotten FDA approval and USDA approval to be sold here in the United States starting this year. So let's put all this together. Tyson Foods, which makes chicken McNuggets for McDonald's. I've been to Tyson, I've seen it made. Now a lot of people will say, oh, chicken nuggets are nasty. Actually, they're not. I've seen it, they actually cut the meat right off the chicken. Maybe the paste they put on it, the breading, maybe that's not very healthy. I mean, there's probably a lot of carbohydrates in that, but the chicken itself is real chicken. When I went to McDonald's, I don't go to McDonald's anymore, but when I went to McDonald's, I always got the chicken nuggets. So because I kind of thought, well, I've been there. I know they're pretty healthy, other than the breading. I wasn't sure what was in the breading. I can only imagine, since Tyson Food is involved in this, and chicken prices went through the roof this year because of the bird flu. Just read an article. This has been the worst year for the bird flu ever. It's killed over 50.5 million chickens and turkey worldwide or something like that. So chicken prices going up. Well, if you're thinking like me, you wonder, is this real? or is this manufactured? And I believe it's manufactured. I just don't see a lot of evidence that this bird flu is a big problem, but whatever. So prices went up on chicken. This means that we can start manufacturing meat. This takes care of the nitrogen problem in our plant-based foods. We also don't have to feed animals anymore because of the nitrogen. And now we don't have to raise animals, which causes, all these environmental issues, they say. They're doing everything they can to push us away from a normal diet. Now you will say I'm not a normal diet, which is kind of the title of this video, which is I'm not supposed to be eating chickens. I have to eat junk, carbohydrates. Now, when you think about carbohydrates is sugar. Think about this, corn. Corn is a very high in carbohydrates. When a farmer wants to fatten up their pig before slaughter, what do they feed them? Corn, because carbohydrates turn into sugar. When I want to keep my chickens warm in the winter, I feed them corn. That fattens them up, helps them stay warm in the wintertime. By instinct, by observation, we can tell that corn has sugar, or makes you fat. So why am I eating these carbohydrates that everybody says so good for you? Corn, high in fiber. Well, it's high in killing you too. The other one is corn syrup. Corn syrup tastes like sugar. It's because it is sugar. So I have to give up my chickens because it's bad for me. Meat is bad for me, so I got to eat vegetables, which actually makes me hurt. And asthma, I didn't even tell you about my asthma. I had asthma, and now that I'm on a meat diet, I don't have asthma anymore. I get over illnesses quicker than I ever have before. But I'm supposed to get rid of the chickens and eat vegetables. So I got regular people in the comment section telling me I can't eat my chickens and my eggs. And then I have the government and the elitist telling me I have to stop eating not only my chickens and eggs, but the vegetables that go along with it. If you haven't decided to raise some sort of animal, that you really need to start considering it. SHTF, everybody talks about SHTF, and they talk about a garden. They're going to raise a garden for their SHTF. That means that you're going to be a vegan prepper. I actually had a prepper say that was the funniest thing you'd ever heard, but that's true. I would suggest that you start raising chickens or rabbits. So if you'll click this up next box, to take you a video where I was talking about the FBI. So if I can inspire you to raise your own animals, so you don't have to eat lab-grown meat when you're living your dream. Thanks for watching.